I'm Ashlyn.
And I'm Zach.
And we're traveling A to Z.
This week we're in the Vidanta Resort in Riviera in Mexico.
So we're staying at the Vidanta Resort and we're at the Grand Bliss. We are in lockdown right now because there's a Category 1 hurricane and there's still lots of gusts and rain, so we are stuck in our room. So we decided to give you an honest review of this hotel, both pros and cons, and kind of tell you our opinion.
Since Ashlyn is optimistic, overly so, she's going to give you the pros and I'm going to give you the realistic cons.
Okay, so we made a list. We have quite a few things on the list. So the first thing is this place is actually really pretty. It's surrounded by jungle. They try to keep everything all natural.
Yeah, you're in the middle of the jungle. I agree. I concur.
Okay, so the number 2 thing I put on my list is the food is really good, but it is very Americanized. So if you want American food that's pretty, they have that.
That's all they have. It's American food. If you want to go to Mexico without actually going to Mexico, this is the place to be. This place is Little America in the middle of the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. It's American food at American food prices, American food choices.
They do have a couple Mexican dishes. There's a few.
It's like Taco Bell.
Okay, they have tacos. They have a couple meals. There's a couple dishes, but very few.
You can go to Mexican food in the U.S. too. That's about what this is.
And they have about 15 different restaurants and bars you could choose from. And all the ones we ate at were really good, and we'll show you the review online that we go to.
Yeah, they're good. They're as good as a resort in America.
Okay, next one. You could probably drink the water. I think everything's pretty filtered here. They do give you a lot of bottled water that you could buy. You have to buy. That is available also.
Yeah, this is Little America. We drink the water in America. You can drink the water here.
Okay. Next thing, the staff here are all really, really good. They're super friendly. They're very helpful. Most of them speak English pretty well. So if you're looking for that, this place has that.
I agree. The staff is super helpful. They're very friendly. The problem is that they're a little bit too helpful because sometimes they don't know what they're talking about, and they'll help you just because they want to be helpful without actually being helpful in the right direction. For example, this place is incredibly complicated. They take a very, very simple system and make it so complex that even the staff doesn't know what's going on. For example, transportation. So this place is spread out all over the place. Now it's a little over 1,000 acres, which that's like 2.5 square
really
miles.
Big.
It's not that big. 2.5 square miles, you can walk across that in 15, 20 minutes. Not a big deal. But all of their pathways don't lead from A to B. You go from A all over the place and then get to B. So instead of walking a couple hundred yards, you're walking a half mile to get between locations. They did that with everything. This place is set up as a maze to be as complicated and as useless a pathway system as they could possibly come up with. It's actually impressive how good a job they did at making stuff proximity-wise very close, but travel-wise almost impossible to get to. From our room to the beach, it's probably a quarter mile. If you tried to walk it on the pathways, it takes probably 3/4 of a mile to a mile to get there.
Good 20-ish minute walk.
It's a good 20-minute walk to go a quarter mile. Now you would say, okay, well you just cut through whatever, right? Well, no, see, they thought about that and they put pools and walls and roadways in between, so you can't cut through. You have to stay on the path. It's impossible not to. They put buildings in your way, basically.
You have to take a shuttle, basically.
Oh, so then you have to be on a shuttle. So their shuttle system, if you would think you have one room here and one room here, you want a shuttle that goes between. No, that's not what they did. They have one room here, and then a transfer station over here. So you have to take the shuttle all over the place to get to the transfer station, to get on a separate shuttle to go all over the place to get back to the room that's right next to where you just came from. It's the most useless system I could possibly imagine, and they did that with everything. And the staff wants to be helpful. They'll tell you where they think you're supposed to go, but the reality is that it's so complex, even the staff doesn't really know most of the time. So it's something to think about. What else?
Okay. So yeah, if you want to stay on a property and have everything here, they have that. So they have all the restaurants, they have a lot of entertainment, which is actually really good. They have a little mini mart, and most of the rooms, unless you get a studio, has like a kitchen and a kitchenette and refrigerator. The studios don't, which is where we're staying. They have no kitchen. So kind of sucks during a hurricane when there's like nothing open to eat but one restaurant for like 2 hours. We're going to see if we can actually get lunch today. I don't know.
I don't know about any other rooms because I haven't seen one. So you have a square box with a bed in it. It's really nice. The fit and finish is as good as any resort you'd be in the United States, but it's still a square box. And unfortunately, our air conditioning cut out. They say it's due to the storm. I don't know. It just doesn't work anymore. It's hot here and it's wet here, and without air conditioning, it's pretty miserable. So in a situation like that, you might want to go someplace else. You might want to like leave the area. This resort is located about 20 miles from Cancun and about 20 miles from Playa del Carmen. It's pretty much right in the middle. And so to get to either location, it's about a half-hour ride in a cab to get there. Cabs here, not cheap. You're looking about $25-$30 to get to either one of those locations one way. Then you have to turn around and come back. The hotel doesn't want you to leave, so they make it very, very complicated to get to the place where you can actually get a cab. Again, the transfer station connecting transportation tram thing that we were talking about earlier. And so from the time that we leave the room, we go downstairs, we wait for, it's pretty quick, probably 10-15 minutes. We'll get a ride to the transfer station, wait another 10-15 minutes, get a ride to where you can catch a cab. From there, the cabs are ready. They'll pick you up. Another half hour or so into town. So from the room into town, you're looking a good hour plus to get into town.
They do offer, the hotel offers like a $5 shuttle to Playa del Carmen per person one way. So one thing about this place is it's actually a timeshare. We did not know that when we came in. So when you first come in, they try to sell you, like when you first check in, they try to sell you like, oh, here's this excursion, here's that excursion. You only have to give us, a little bit of your time. And a little bit of your time is like the whole morning. So if I would just avoid it. Avoid going to that. Say you have stuff booked for the whole, already every morning, and they left us alone. We had no more issues with that. I know some places with timeshares, they like keep like pushing and pushing every single day. It was just that one time when we came in, and they weren't really that pushy. It was just said, nope, we're good. And they're like, okay, thanks. I guess
we didn't take them up on their offer, so they weren't pushy. I think if you got something free out of it, they would hound you every minute that you were here. Don't do it.
It's not worth the $100 to save to go to a presentation.
Nope.
Overall, I personally would not stay here because we like to be closer to things. We like to be closer to restaurants, to excursions, to be able to leave the resort. We're really cheap, and so paying American prices we didn't like $100 a meal. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. So we weren't really thrilled about that. When we ate in town, we were able to get a really good meal for like $30, just as good.
Better, I think.
I think it was comparable, but it was authentic versus Americanized.
Well, this is Americanized. They don't want you to get sick, and so everything is pretty bland, and they don't want anything unusual that would upset your stomach and make you sick. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of different genres: Italian, Mexican, Spanish, Chinese, Cuban. It's all Americanized. Nothing is an ethnic food here that any American couldn't eat.
Mm-hmm. So I personally would probably book something either in Cancun or in Playa del Carmen that was all-inclusive. I think I'd go all-inclusive next time instead of not, because that costs too much.
Extremely expensive for what you're getting. Probably not worth it. definitely not worth it for us. And yeah, it'd be really nice to stay in town so you can actually leave. So we're going to sum it up for you. This is an American resort.
It's very nice.
It's very nice. It's up to American standards. If you go to any resort in the United States, this is just like every resort that you go to in the United States, including the fit and finish, the service, the people, the food, and the cost. It's all American. Yep.
I hope you got a good, non-biased view, pros and cons of this resort. Join us on our next adventure as we go snorkeling some cenotes outside of Tulum. Please subscribe below to follow our adventures.